One of the things working at Google is you're continually shocked, and one of the things that was the most shocking today is I think for the first time in my entire history of Google, we've actually finished something ahead of time. So I was given two options. You're always given options at Google. It was talk for 30 minutes instead of 5 minutes, or let you guys have a drink and something to eat a bit early. I went for the second option, which I think you'll all be quite pleased about. One of the great things also working at Google is that I'm continually learning about our own products. And I think what our approach to launching early and launching often and continuing to innovate means that my first option with everything that I need to do, if I need to drive acquisitions or create awareness or change behavior or educate both our users and our advertisers, is looking to our own products. And I wrote a few things down today, and I really wrote myself a bit of a checklist of 4 things I'm going to do when I leave. The first thing is go outside and drink some of our own beer and think about the following 3 things. And I think the first one is really to think big. And we just have actually Michael Rucker and I just have a new boss, and he's the one of the ex-senior VPs of marketing at Nike. And that's quite strange for someone from Nike to come and work at Google, but one of the great things that he's really pushing us to do is to think big. And it's fewer, bigger, and better. And I think this is really what this is about. Hopefully, you won't have learned a million new things today. Some things you'll know, some things you'll reinforce, and you may have a few new gems that you realized. But hopefully, the things that Michael talked about specifically about some of the roadblocks and the blasts will make you think that maybe the world's biggest display network is probably, hopefully, an option that you'll look at. So the first thing is to think big. The second thing I always found when I do marketing is I find it very difficult in previous careers where I've had to make promises to people or to tell them something and say, look, just take my word for it and believe it. At the core of what Google does, both internally and externally, is just test it. I think this doesn't exist in isolation. It's very much about, look, don't take our word for it, test it. But I think, as Shitan said as well, you've got to be a little bit patient on these tests. They don't happen. It's not testing for a week with 2 different creatives. I think that's about building relationships with key stakeholders internally. I have to do that all the time, where it says, look, your definition of a test needs to be pretty significant. We've got some great options that can help you test different creatives. The Display Ad Builder is actually a pretty cool product. For someone like me who really struggles with that side of things, this thing has made it very, very easy for us to showcase our own products. I think with frequency capping and a number of different other things that the team talked about, you've really got options to run some really cool A/B tests above and below the fold, etc., to truly understand what are the best settings that would work for your display strategy. And then I think, that third thing is really once you work out what works, you've got a creative idea, you've executed it, you've understood the results, and then now it's really about enhancing. And the final thing that's great about the work that we do is I've always been told, my background was creative agency, and then I went into digital data-driven consulting, and I always wanted to find an area where you could be creative and results-focused at the same time. And that space exists on the web, and it exists on both our search and our display networks. But really optimizing for knowing what's working. Marita and Gia talked about remarketing and conversion optimizer, which I think are extremely cool. Particularly remarketing is something that I'm definitely going to go and learn more about myself as well. Again, thanks very much for your time. It's our first Think Display event. Apologies for Chetan for the shredded jeans. It makes his suit feel even worse, I think. But please do go outside and enjoy yourselves. Hopefully it's not too hot. One of the downsides of finishing early is the sun is still up. There's quite a few Googlers in the room. If you could stick your hands up, please, if you're from Google. So we didn't have a Q&A session, but we figured that the best opportunity is to have you guys, talk to the guys that you know, meet a few other people, ask guys from Google any questions. And again, from my point of view, and Marita and Gia, who really did all the work, thank you very much for your time. And we'd love feedback on this and feedback on our products, because I think we're learning this as well, of what works in this region for advertisers and for our partners here. So again, thanks for your time, and enjoy some refreshments. Thank you.